The dog was digging desperately, as if looking for something. Even though his claws were torn, he still didn't stop. And even called 3 children to dig together. Suddenly, there was a sound in the ruins. And the dog immediately rushed up and started running wood again. Not long after, he dug a small hole and saw his seriously injured and unconscious owner. But no matter how he yelled, the owner didn't wake up. The dog was very anxious when he saw this. But fortunately he quickly thought of a way and ran towards the town quickly. Unexpectedly, he really found it. The captain of the rescue team, who was searching for the wounded, saw the dog's anxious look. So he squatted down and asked the dog where the owner was. The dog turned around and ran. Seeing this, the captain hurriedly followed with his companions. The dog was afraid that they could not keep up. So he stopped at the intersection to wait for them. Soon they came to the collapsed house and determined the location of the wounded with the help of the dog. Seeing the rescue team start working, the dog finally breathed a sigh of relief and cheered the team members with his voice. Soon after, the helicopter also arrived at the scene. But because the airflow was very unstable after the earthquake, the plane could not land and they could only use ropes for aerial rescue. The grandfather was seriously injured and was the first to be pulled up, while the dog was very well behaved and waited on the side with the child. When it was the girl's turn to go up, he turned his head and asked the captain how the dog would get on the plane after they left. When the captain heard it, he reacted and looked up at the dog, a little overwhelmed for a while. At this time, the team members on the plane urged them to leave immediately because the grandfather was seriously injured. Despite the girl's pleading, the captain still left the dog here. The dog didn't seem to expect it and kept yelling at the owner. After the girl was rescued, the plane immediately began to return. But no one expected that the dog would keep chasing the plane on the ground. 2.0s. Baby of 4.6s and Mary kept running and chasing until the plane flew farther and farther. And Mary stopped. But he always believed that the owner would come back to pick him up. So he stayed at home with the child. But there is not only the risk of aftershocks here, but also 3 children to feed. In order to find something to eat, they often have to search in the ruins for hours. A little further away, they saw crows attacking several children. Mary hurried back to drive them away. Even if her face was scratched by the crows, she did not step back. She did not feed the dog food. She found to the children until all the crows were driven away. The dog food that had not been eaten for a few days was instantly sucked in by the children. They almost ate the bag. But Mary just lay quietly beside her and did not eat a single bite. In desperation, Mary wanted to try